Hello, we're here. We're live, by the way. Did we know?
Oh, what?
Yeah, we're live. Yeah. Apparently, we've gone away though, so we're not here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm not here.
Aren't you?
Well, I'm not here either.
Who's got that turned on?
Yeah.
It was going so well.
It was.
Right, okay.
See, that's got to depend on your definition of well.
Define well,
Which is
Dave.
Eh?
Define well.
Define well. Something that Malik fell down.
You can't really argue with that, can you? I couldn't see the keyboard because I had vapour coming out everywhere.
Are we live now or what?
Yeah, apparently we are. Yeah. So tonight then, this is not the Haze Hour, and I am joined by Dave Kitson, as you can see there. Right, someone else say something. So the camera flips over, so I have to press it. There's a Sav.
Hello.
Hello. Go on, other person.
It's me.
There's a Marco. There we go. Live
Hello.
from his hotel room in where are you?
Scotland.
Scotland.
I'm in
Whereabouts?
Kilmarnock.
Kilmarnock. There we go.
In Ayrshire. Yeah.
Right, we've got no titles or anything tonight because it's not really a proper show, is it?
Unofficial, unbranded,
Yeah.
edgy kind of show, yeah?
Yeah. Shall we start off now with a message from Mr. Dawn, shall we?
Yeah.
Go on, then.
Recorded
Yeah.
especially from his hotel room in Dubai. Lucky git.
Hi. You may have heard, you may have noticed that I announced that there would be no more Haze Hour. And that's perfectly true. But I'm quite excited and I'm here to tell you why. By the end of October you're going to see an awful lot of changes in vaportrails.tv. For instance, the advertising in the shows will no longer be there. We're dropping it all, dropping the sponsorship as well. And we're doing that for all sorts of reasons, one of them being that, well, let's just say that they've pointed the finger of AstroTurf at us when we've been doing this whole wandering about the place and extolling the virtues of e-cigs. So that gets rid of all of this AstroTurf and conflicts of interest and all of that kind of thing, which we needed to do. There's going to be other things happening as well. There'll be 2 main shows a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're doing this so that there's continuity. At the moment I'm on my way to New Zealand, which means that had the Haze Hour been continuing, there'd have been no Haze Hour for 3 weeks, for the simple reason that I'm just not there. And we don't want that to happen anymore. So there'll be 2 teams that do Tuesdays and Thursdays, there'll be crossover between them, and that's going to work out an awful lot better. And that gives us a springboard from which to grow. We're redesigning Vapor Trails so that it's better for you, the vapor and the viewer. That's the basic idea. I'm excited by the whole thing. I think it's going to be, as I said, a springboard for bigger and better things. More reviews, more how-tos. Think The One Show, think Top Gear, but for vaping. Think teams of people involved in doing the kind of thing that you want to see, that you want to watch, that you want to listen to. And that's basically what we're going to be giving you. It should be absolutely fabulous. And I know it's a word I use far too much, but that's exactly what it should be. It should be absolutely fabulous. So there you go. I'm really looking forward to building a bigger and better vaportrails.tv for you, the viewers, and I know the rest of the team are too. So let's hear from the rest of the team. What do you think, lads and lasses, guys and gals?
It's me.
And we're back. There we go. So that's Dave Dawn basically telling you guys what's going to be happening. So we're getting rid of the 3 or 4 nights a week shows and cutting it down a little bit, streamlining it and making it a little bit more I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for, Dave?
Better.
Better. That's the word I'm looking for, isn't it?
The word you're looking for. Yes, without just repeating exactly what Dave said, it's we've been running pretty much the same format now for approaching 5 years, and a lot has changed. Not just with the technology with broadcasting. I mean, we're doing this tonight with a Google Hangout with Wirecast and what have you, but the cost of streaming, things like that, everything's changed. So the whole way we've been structured so far, we're having a little rethink. And as Dave said, we're going to basically concentrating on doing fewer shows, although they will be longer, and basically making better use of the resources we've got. So, and of course, one of the big changes that we'll be making is we'll be walking away from any industry funding through advertising, which basically means that we should be pretty much untouchable when the TPD comes into play. So there's a whole bunch of factors basically have come together, and we reckon it's going to be rather good actually.
Aye. Now, Spiritus Vape or Tristan asked in chat, well, the funding's got to come from somewhere. This is the beauty of it. Now, YouTube streaming costs nothing, right? At least for the time being. I don't know, that might change one day. I can't see it changing, but you never know. We've pretty much got the gear we need in order to stream the shows.
I mean, I'll just, if you don't mind me chipping in.
Yeah, you go for it.
There are some costs. We have very, very strict rules on VTTV about the use of copyrighted material and audio and the videos we use, and the services we subscribe to. They do have a cost, but we basically we can cover that without anybody paying in. Without going into far too much detail, we'll have enough money left in the kitty basically to see us through for some considerable time. So we should be able to, well, not maintain the quality of the videos and stuff we do. Hopefully we're going to actually vastly improve them. We've got the equipment, we've got the services and the subscriptions in place. And so we basically genuinely don't believe we need any more funding, certainly for the next couple of years.
Indeed. Sav and Marco, have you got anything to add?
I'll let Marco go. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm really, really looking forward to changing things up a bit. Not that I don't like what we're doing currently because it's fun, but I just think it's going to be an interesting and different way of getting the content out to people, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. That's it.
Marco?
Yeah, obviously, I must point something out straight away. It's not going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's going to be Mondays and Thursdays. So we're going to do the first show on a Monday, second show on a Thursday, and not the Tuesday, like Dave mentioned. We kind of changed our minds after Dave left. Yeah, and that's basically because, I mean, today, it's Thursday, I'm in Scotland, and I'm in Scotland quite often, which is why I'm not usually around on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So we took the decision to do Tuesday and Thursday, meaning that I could definitely be around for the Monday show. It is going to be a little bit different. We're all pretty sure that it's going to be much, much better. Longer shows, more content, and we'll be really going more into the production value as opposed to finding out what we're doing on the night, because that sometimes happens because, you know, the way we do all work, you know, 5 days a week, so sometimes work gets in the way. So we're going to plan more, and we're going to get some hopefully good stuff.
Yeah, now Marco touched on another reason actually. As you can appreciate, doing these shows, an hour show every pretty much every night of the week, it takes its toll. It's not easy to do. I mean, you might be sitting there watching and say, yes, all you got to do is sit there and waffle for an hour and record some video. It's not that straightforward. You know, you've got to keep abreast of events. You've got to get the equipment. You've got to have the time to shoot the VT. You know, So we're hoping as well that this will make it easier on all of us involved, where we can just pull everything together and actually just put out some shows, with less strain on everyone else's personal life as well. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you've got that right. I mean, there really is a whole wide range of factors that all point to this. I think if we pool our resources, we'll make better shows. I think we automatically, as we understand it currently, will not fall foul of the TPD because no money is changing hands. And yeah, there were a couple of things went past in chat. So I'll just pick up on. Somebody suggested, should we think about like making it a sort of a subscription club kind of arrangement? And I'd have to say no, absolutely not. In fact, the opposite. We want this stuff that we do to reach as many vapors and potential vapors as it possibly can. So we certainly don't want to hide it away from people. It looks as though we may have found a way to continue doing what we do post May 2016, and we want it in front of as many people as we can get.
Yeah.
So there was another point that went by as well about uploading videos being seen in Europe. Okay, if some European country is banning YouTube videos, then there's not much we can do to influence that, unfortunately.
No.
That said, there is no reason, once the TPD is in place, why anybody in Europe should be banning the content that we're putting out, because the TPD basically says it's okay. And as I say, if we've got our interpretation right, and I believe that we do, because no money is changing hands.
Yeah. Now, actually, going back to that subscription thing, there is one benefit. I'm going to call it subscription, but it's not. But we're going to be doing things more with social media as well. You guys in chat probably know about our Facebook group as well. We've got a Facebook page and we've got a Facebook group. And obviously we're all over Twitter and that sort of thing as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to make more use of the Facebook groups. And we're going to do things like, in the future, we're going to do giveaways and that sort of thing, and competitions and stuff. But in order to partake in that, you need to be a member of that group as well. So, it's, you get something out of it, we get something out of it, and we get to engage with you guys, the viewers. So there we go. I think now's a good time, really, don't you think, to have a look at some clips from past shows?
Yeah.
He's talking about not. Oh, I see. So not talking about buying the right to see the show, but buying the right to say twat badger.
Okay. I think Marco just dropped out. Okay.
What the hell was that?
That was Marco dropping out.
So I get what they mean. That are we going to relax the restrictions on the swear filter?
Right. Right. Let's be clear about this. The restrictions on the swear filter were self-imposed because we don't want to offend people. Just because some people don't mind us dropping the F-bomb every other word, there's a lot of people that do, and you would be surprised. And to be honest, we're all for keeping everybody happy.
Neil Robinson and Trevor G both make mention of the dark web. Now, here's the thing, right? I work in the field of security and networking and that sort of thing. If I was someone looking for unhandled activity, I would straight away go onto the dark web. So no, that's not a good idea.
We're not doing anything wrong anyway.
No, but that's not.
No, we're definitely not at that stage yet.
No. But right. Oh, Marco's come back in. Are you there, Marco?
I'm back. Yeah, it froze on me. I had to go out and come back in.
Hotel Wi-Fi is fantastic. Anyway, I did say we was going to play a clip in, didn't I? So I'll play that now.
What you do? Let's just to make sure everybody's crystal clear on this. We're not changing the nature of what we do. The only thing that's going to be changing is hopefully we're going to make better quality shows, better quality telly, increase the production value.
Yeah.
The term that we're using, which sounds a bit twatty and consultancy, but that's what we're going to try and do. We want to make better shows so more and more people will watch it and we can spread the word and do what we do. I think we've done reasonably well on VTTV, even though we have at times been dependent on funding by sponsors and advertisers. I think we've been very good at being very balanced and very honest in the reports of products that we do and in the commentary that we do. But, you know, starting pretty much from the next show after this one, that will be unquestionable.
Actually, someone did ask in chat as well a while ago. Does that mean DK's back? Did you ever go away?
I never really went away, did I? I mean, I suppose I don't want to sound like bleating and whining and complaining, but at the moment, because we have funding involved, we're actually operating as a limited company, and somebody has to do all the paperwork and the VAT returns and all the accounts and everything for that, and the invoicing and the chasing of the payments and all the rest of it. So, although I haven't been on the screens much, I've certainly been doing all of that. So, the team haven't noticed me missing, basically, over the last 6 months.
We would have noticed you missing if you were missing. Let's put it that way. Right, I'm going to get this.
Who is this man? Who is this man?
Right, Dalek Van Basten is interrupting me playing the VT in.
In the new structure now, of course, there's a framework where basically I can just contribute to it rather than have to sort of organise and produce an entire show every week. So that probably means I'll be back on the screen more often. So bad luck.
Right, I'm going to play his VT in now. Right, okay, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it.
Play it.
I'm going to play it now.
Well, there we go. Welcome to the very first show. We've got a very exciting show for you. We're bringing you lots of devices. Black. I think we're experiencing technical difficulties on our first transmission.
Hi everybody. That was supposed to be a blank shot, so that I was going to come in here and on the chat room there, and I was going to say, hi everyone, and you were all going to go, aren't you supposed to be on? And I was going to go, oh no! And then I was going to go, and come on and press the camera button, and it'd be all funny and surprising and all that business. And now you're talking to me.
Hi, I'm Dave K. You might recall on my show Dave's Tackle Box a couple of weeks ago on vaportrails.tv I reviewed this thing, which is the OK Smoky OKS 2011P e-pipe. You may also recall what a naff name I thought that was for it, but I reviewed it, it worked, and then the very following night, also live on Vapor Trails TV, it died a spectacular death.
It looks like a little bottle, doesn't it?
It's a Fog King tank.
Doesn't it look like a little bottle of port? It's a Fog King tank.
Can you say it quickly?
No, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. Does it fit on here? No, it doesn't.
Aye.
Does it?
Interesting. Isn't it though?
Just. It's got a little skirt. It's a bit top heavy. And it interferes with your button.
It does have its own batteries, like. It goes enough on the Pro Vari. You want on the Pro Vari?
No thanks. I don't want a vibrator in my hand.
It's not what you said last night.
Knew that was coming. I knew the moment I said it, that was a mistake.
Noisy little son, isn't it? Might be a bit strong for your pet.
No, it wasn't. It was quite nice. I'm so sorry.
You want to get a couple of tissues and something. What's that? Oh dear me.
Anybody want to? Oh, that was funny.
I've cleaned my tubes out.
I am so sorry, everybody. Blame teacher half for that one.
He's right. Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, for all of those.
I think I've just done a little win.
Who are watching this who do not have the benefit of chat. Dear. Oh, dear me.
All he said was give it a fucking chance.
Exactly.
Oh, dearie me. If Paul is watching this, we are going to get some kicking.
But she shouldn't have named it that.
Probably not, no.
God,
oh, I'm supposed to be reviewing this on Thursday. Oh.
TJ Jahar, I'm banning you from that chat room. That was the best one-liner I have seen in a while. Do you want to try that?
Oh.
That was really
Vape man said, "What juice are you guys vaping? I want some." It's strangely enough, it's RY high five.
Hello.
Oh. Is that what's out there?
We would have played you the intro.
Yes.
But someone completely ballsed it up.
Hello everyone. Let me turn off my echo machine. How are you doing?
Good evening. Welcome finally to the potting shed.
Good evening to you. It is 9 o'clock and it is Tuesday. I'm Mark Green and this is Vapocacy.
Anyway, Dougie, you've done a VT for us, haven't you? Would you like to introduce it?
Yeah, it's basically a little bit of information about the uptake on vaping in my workplace over the last month, basically, and how it's exploded. The amount of people that I've decided to give them a go.
Okay. All you've got to do then is say roll VT.
Roll VT.
It is Halloween, the night when witches and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night go forth and knock on doors, shouting trick or treat, and seek favor from those who would live amongst them. But tonight, here on VaporTrails.tv, we shall have none of that. Tonight, we shall speak of electronic cigarettes. We shall speak of electronic cigarette juice. And we shall speak of other things that make man happy in VT Talk.
Hello? Hello? It's us?
Well, hello, good evening and welcome, whichever camera everybody's in. It's Wednesday night. It's the 6th of February, believe it or not. And tonight's a bit of a special night. Vaportrails.tv is exactly 2 years old tonight. It's the anniversary of our first ever broadcast. And in honour of that, we've brought together the original team, which are in no particular order, but I've put them boy, girl, boy, girl. If we pop the first pair in, well, you can see them over my shoulders, but let's get them full screen. We have on your left, Andy Sutton. Say hello, Andy.
Hello.
And on your right, we have Cat Chris. Cat Chris. Say hello, Chris.
Hello.
Now,
Hello.
there's two of the original team, and then going back to the other pair, he said, sorting all these bits of keys and everything out, we have on your left, Dave Kitson. Say hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
And on your right, the effervescent loveliness. That is Sav Kirstein. Say hello, Sav.
Hello.
There you go. That is the team. That is the team that...
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Again, I practiced the sound. And then I come on and I shout. But hello and welcome to Vaportrails.tv and SWAF Confidential with me, Andy Sutton.
Well, good evening. It's a Wednesday night. It's 9 o'clock and it is time to tin your tip with myself, Gary Dibley, and the ever capable mod master that is Mark.
Me?
You.
I've got no idea what happened there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Team Talk. It's time for the titles.
It's time for the titles.
Look flawless.
And a very good evening and welcome to Team Talk. There's been a bit of giggling going on in the background. We've had things falling on the floor. We've had unwarranted phone calls. Various things have been going on pre-show, which of course is just for us, not for you guys. Welcome along. It's Wednesday, the 29th of January, 2014.
And everyone needs to unmute now.
Well done. Right. That's gone remarkably well.
Righty-ho then. On to the next thing.
Hi everyone. Since the turn of the year we've seen a massive intake of new e-cigarette users, particularly since the Chris Choi Tonight Show, and also since the whole media explosion about e-cigs.
Hello chat. Hello, I'm just refreshing my chat to see who's in on the laptop. I just scratched my leg. We're cooking tonight, yeah, under the lights.
And good evening, welcome to Dave's Tackle Box on Vaportrails.tv. It is Sunday the 1st of March 2015 and it's 9 o'clock in the UK, the centre of the universe.
So, hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to, I'm not going to laugh. Stop it, Saf. And welcome to the Haze Hour.
The Haze Hour.
Oh, God.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Welcome to Beyond Vaping with me, Very Boring. Now, this is a program where I talk to vapors, but we're going beyond vaping. We're not going to talk about vaping as such. We're going to talk about them as people, their life outside vaping. So, this week, my first guest is...
And hello, and welcome to my first show with no name.
Noswaith a chroeso I anedd llwybredau teledu. Yn anffodus, mae Matt ddim yn gallu gwneud y sioe heno, o rhaid i gyn gorfod cymryd drosodd. Ond mae'n llawer o bethau i ddiddanu, gyda tymer bach o'r fideo, newyddion a ffrwythradau. A nawr, dyma'r teitlau.
He's done a few tests on this, he's twisted it and he's given it some abuse, and he's quite happy with it himself.
And good evening and welcome to another Thursday night show. We're spoiling you, we are. Yes, we are. Well, Dave Dawn's over in Spain, sunning himself on the sunbeds. You get to enjoy me. And Bob, say hello, Bob.
Hello, how's everyone? What?
To everybody out there, are you ready for this? Yeah. Vape on! Vape hard! And don't let the bastards grind you down! Until we see you next time, from Kate, Sav and me, and everybody else on the VTTV team, take care of each other, look after each other, and have a hell of a wonderful time. Is it gin o'clock now? It is. Bye-bye!
And we're back. There we go. So that was all trip down memory lane.
Everybody out there, are you ready for this? Yeah,
yeah, they're still playing it.
Bye-bye.
Oh, good, good. Didn't Dave look cherub-faced about his beard? Marco was born with a beard.
I was born 6'5", tell you.
You were, yeah, yeah.
Neuron killed my mother, bless her. 48 years ago on Monday.
Oh.
48.
So is that stirred any memories for you guys, is it?
It did.
I was just saying it to you guys, but for the benefit of everybody else, that very first opening scene on the first night was hysterical, because Andy was presenting it and Dave, Dawn and myself were kind of in the wings on Skype. And for some reason, we thought it was a good idea to put those black curtains behind us. I really don't know why we did that, but we all did. We all rushed out on the Saturday morning, came back, hung up the black material. And of course, Andy went live and somebody in chat was saying, oh, look, it's all black. To which Andy thought the screen was all black and we weren't transmitting. So the first several minutes of the first show consisted of, are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Yes, you're on, you pillock. But yes, it brings back a lot of memories for you too, I'm sure, Saf.
Oh, loads. Absolutely loads. Seems like 5 minutes ago, but putting that together, there was so much stuff to go through, and it was like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that.
Phenomenal amount of stuff. I know when I've done these little montages myself, you literally spend months. There's months and months worth of video.
Yeah. I found myself sitting going, oh, I'm going to watch this bit. I'm going to watch that. I love that bit. That bit was brilliant. That's great.
Intermittently, amongst all of those feelings are, good God, did we really do that?
Yes. At least you weren't sitting dressed as a pirate.
And that was fairly recently as well.
Sadly, yes, it was.
Oh, great fun stuff though. Marco, what are your memories of your first show?
Yes.
I need to ask you.
Well, first of all, I can't hear Saf again, so I have no idea what she's been.
Okay. Well, she called your names rather than
was nothing different there then. The first show was, it's scary, and that's, oh my God, that set that we called together was awful. Nothing like the ones that I got later on, and put together nicer ones. I think it was actually a bit of Dave Kitson's old set, and then a bit of Dave Dawn as well. They kind of all together, and it was. And then that was with the webcam as well. So I moved on to a full HD camera and all the Wirecast stuff and everything else. So it was, yes, technologically quite far behind what I do now, really. But yeah, the old shows, fantastic stuff.
I must say, I've always admired your dedication to the Tuesday night slot by cobbling together all that stuff of plywood first to build that set, and then moving your window to a lovely cityscape. I think it's remarkable. I really do. And then taking it all down that evening and driving to Scotland that morning. Superb.
Yes, the technology, the green screen. But you see, because I'm in a hotel and I have no green screen, I can do this.
He's going to set off a fire alarm.
Whereas normally I can't do that. Yes, I'm being careful because the fire alarm's just up there, the fire sensor. I don't want to set it off.
Indeed, yes. It's in shot.
Dave, I'm going to ask you the same question. What was your first show like? No.
Was that to me?
It was. That's why I said, Dave, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yeah, but I was talking instead of listening.
Sorry, right, okay, multitasking, yeah.
My first show, right, I was a little bit cunning and crafty. So my show used to go out immediately after Andy Sutton's on a Sunday, but for the launch weekend, we did something a little bit different. So I actually got a week of watching everybody else before I did my show, because we didn't have Wirecast or anything like that then. We had that simple little player that Ustream used to have, and it was shocking. It was terrible. Went out in 240p, I remember. So that was like about that big. Like Marco said, we only had webcams. We had no high def stuff or anything like that. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I'd like I say, I had the benefit of watching where all the others went wrong. So it actually, technically, went quite well, apart from the fact that I finished 15 minutes early because I ran out of stuff. So that's that then, ended it. It seemed like the right thing to do at the time. But yeah, nerve-wracking, definitely nerve-wracking.
And Sav, he said, I wasn't even a vapor when you was doing things like the Witching Hour and stuff. So I don't really know what your shows were previous. Yeah.
I was never meant to be on camera.
Right.
That was not the idea. It was Kat. And as she sat down to do the show, about 10 minutes before, she went, "Will you join me?" And I went, "Oh, it'd be fine." She went, "No, will you join me? I'm not doing this if you don't join me." So that's how I ended up on the screen. I thought I'll be a one-off just till she gets her confidence up. And here I am. So I didn't have time to be nervous on my first show, because it was literally a case of get a drink, sit down, talk. I was like, ooh. So yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was terrified, but when it finished, it was like, that was fun. We'll do that again.
Now, I'd just like to add that all the time that I've been here, and I'm sure everyone else as well, that Sav has ruled us with an iron fist. And I've lived in constant fear of Sav, even though she's many, many miles away from me. And we've never met.
Oh, no.
But I just have this suspicion that she could phone me up and punch me down the phone line or something.
Yeah, probably could.
Probably could, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. She's got strange powers, that Sav.
Nice, really. Honest.
So I was about to say she's definitely her mother's daughter, but then I realised I'm going to be double the crap now.
Yeah. But it's true.
Sav is the official Vapor Trails TV enforcer.
She is. Her official title is Attitude Adjustment Officer.
That's it.
Yeah. Someone has to keep you that alive.
Yes.
Yeah, very boring makes a good point, actually. After this, he suggests that everybody delves through the archives. Yeah, do so. We did make a lot of stuff private on YouTube for the simple reason that we had some copyright strikes. So the other day, Sav dutifully went through the entirety of our YouTube archive and made it all public again. So do go back and refresh yourself.
And also, if you've got a couple of hours to kill, have a look. Look us up on Ustream for the very early stuff. If you look up Vapor Trails TV on Ustream.
Just in TV.
Yeah, if that and the stuff on live stream still.
And live stream, yeah. We tried them all, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I was about to say, you flitted through a lot of them, didn't you?
We did. The problem is, right, well, there was no live broadcast on YouTube when we started. Obviously, that's a relatively new thing. And even when YouTube started, it was so unreliable. So we went through various different providers. But the problem is, you're all right up to a point. But as soon as your cumulative views on those other providers starts to hit certain numbers, which of course doing 5-6 shows a week we were doing at some points, we very quickly got up this number of viewer hours, and you're looking at thousands of pounds a month for the hosting. So in the end, we went off to a totally independent streaming company for the broadcast, and then we would have to basically save the shows locally and throw them up to YouTube, and that's kind of how we kept that manageable. But these days, as I say, the technology now, I mean, it takes a lot of risk out of it because it's been recorded as we do it. It used to be, I used to finish my show at 10 o'clock and it was midnight, 1 a.m. On a Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
That's finished. You know, and when I was getting up at 4:30 to get a plane to work on that Monday morning, it started to wear a bit thin. So now is definitely a lot easier.
Because I remember we used to have to upload separately when we were putting them on iTunes, and there was podcasts going up to places and all sorts, and it was like, wow,
That's right.
this is taking forever.
That's right. I mean, it all worked. We made it work, but the amount of sort of effort that went into keeping that was unsustainable, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what killed the last streaming service there was Storm in New York when there was all the floods. Do you remember? And the actual servers got flooded in New York, and we had to go back. I think we went over to Justin TV for the night or something.
That's right.
But then we had to change rather quickly the whole uploading thing, because I was regularly up until 2 o'clock in the morning uploading from a Tuesday, and then I'd have to get up at 7, 8 and drive to Scotland on the next day. Yes, it's better as it is. But as you know, I've been uploading the show in a different resolution for the past few weeks as well. So, but that, when I use my 4G, only takes about 6 minutes, whereas in the old days it would take 4 hours.
Yes.
So it's crazy.
You touched on something there as well, and as another one of the reasons why we're looking at the new format of the shows, and that is we are so desperately dependent on things like bandwidth that we can't control. And the reality of it is that some of us get pretty good, steady bandwidth in decent quantities, and some of us struggle, don't we, Marco?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I struggle. I get about 6-7 meg down, but I'm lucky if I get a meg up. And sometimes it just goes crazy. If the weather's bad, it slows down.
Yeah.
The past couple of weeks, I've been using 4G, and that's been fine. But when YouTube changed its ingestion setting, when I was streaming in 4G before, I was streaming too fast for the servers, so we had to cut back. We just have to face these things.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we should be able to manage much better now that we are sort of essentially teaming up and sharing the resources a bit better. It means that when we broadcast the shows on a Monday and a Thursday, we could use the better connections that we've got. And that's another one of the multitude of reasons that we're going the way we're going.
Yeah, another good reason as well is we're not always here, are we? I mean, Dave Dawn, for example, he's off now. He's in New Zealand as we speak. So that would mean there would be no show tonight if it wasn't for us doing this. So the whole, and that's not the whole point at all, but another reason we're doing this is, so, for example, Marco and myself will be handling Monday nights. I'll be sitting here doing the tech, Marco will be coming in. We'll be showing VT, we'll have contributors, this sort of thing, other people coming in. Now, if Dave Dawn will be handling the Thursday nights, technology-wise, but if for any reason he couldn't do it, like, for example, he's in New Zealand, the show's already in place, so it'd just be me or Dave or whoever just jump in and take over. So it makes things a bit more agile, which I hate to use that word, and I've been at work all day, and that's what we use. Fluid and agile and all that sort of thing, you know. Now, I do have a question actually to ask. I know the story of how Vapor Trails got started, and that was basically at Vape Fest with Dave Dawn and Andy Sutton, wasn't it? Drunk behind a bar.
Yes, sort of. Yeah.
So
it was.
Go on.
We went. Yeah, we went to Vape Fest 2010. That was in October 2010. So God, that's almost 5 years ago. And they did a review behind the bar, as you said, which we later repeated. We did another one shortly thereafter behind the same bar with the chili chicken juice. Remember? Yeah, but basically what happened was Dave got talking to Andy. Dave obviously already knew Kat and Sav. And I was sort of fairly fresh-faced, and I got to know these guys at Vape Fest. So over the next couple of months, we kicked the idea around. And well, it happened very quickly, didn't it, Sav? I mean, we started talking about it sort of early November, and by December, we're wondering whether we should bring the launch date forward.
Yeah, it all sort of happened very quickly after that point.
I mean, the tech was difficult because nobody was doing it. There was vaping TV, and namely in the States, the vape TV that's still going.
They just started, hadn't they?
They just started, but they were using one of these. I forget which one it was. They ended up on Justin as well, didn't they? But they were using something that was like a primitive Google Hangout.
Oh yeah, with the cameras down the sides. Yeah.
We looked at that and decided that's really not what we want to do. We want to do proper programs where we've got some control and can play in VT. We didn't want to just sit there and play music and stuff. We used to spend a lot of time watching Vape TV, don't get me wrong.
And I still think the best night ever was when you guys invaded Vape TV.
That was hysterical. That footage still exists.
Oh, that was brilliant.
That was pretty. I thought they were going to kick us off.
So did I, but
they asked us if we could do a show on Vape TV, so we did. And we took all the technology and we did our own show. And honestly, we just lost control, didn't we?
Yes.
I'm going to have to go and look that up.
They said, oh, you can swear as much as you want, and it hadn't even crossed their minds. So that was that. So I got this Profanosaurus off the shelf. And we were just reading quotes from that for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was hysterical. It really was. I don't know if you remember when we did the first World Vaping Day show, when we tied in with all the guys in America.
Yes.
God, I remember Kat was orchestrating that night, and I was sitting watching, and all I heard is every couple of minutes, right, you're on 2 minutes now. No, I don't care. Do it now. Right, next. And then move on to the next one. No, 5 minutes. Go and get a drink. And then you're on. Doesn't care. Don't care. Do it. I was like, she's mean.
That was something to be really, really proud of, that World Vaping Day thing.
Yeah,
I can remember, I like Marco is now, I was on an iPad in the business lounge at Munich Airport, like Skyped in and did a piece on the show, and then got home and joined again to round off the show.
Yeah.
And then it was backwards and forwards across the Atlantic. I mean, the production, given that we, the stuff that's available to us, I thought you guys did an absolutely fantastic job.
It was phenomenal that night. I remember when it finished and everyone just sat there going, did we just do that? It was amazing.
This leads me on quite nicely to a bit of beating our own drum, if you like. Now, as I was a VTC viewer for a couple of years before I joined you guys, to me, VTTV, more than anything else on the internet, vaping related, embodies community. For example, the first time I ever met Dave Kidson behind me here was when I threw together some sort of vape meet in South Wales, and he decided to turn up and film the event, which was quite monumental. With the rotting shark and the smoke alarms.
Fire alarms, everything, yeah. Brilliant.
But it's stuff like that. Now you've got the big names on YouTube. You've got your Rip Trippers, you've got your Todds and things like that. But they don't involve the community as much as VTTV does, and that's certainly not going to change. In fact, it's going to increase even more, I'd say. One of the things we're going to be looking out for as well, we're going to be looking out for contributors and things like that. So, it's another reason to get involved with our social media and things, and because we want to know from every vapor in the UK and the world. We want to know your story. We want to talk about it, and so on and so forth. And yabba yabba yabba. I'm waffling now, aren't I?
No, it's true that we do want to get as many people involved as possible with telling their stories, because I've been vaping for 6.5 years, something like that, and I still find people's stories fascinating and inspiring.
Absolutely. If you want, you go back to that time almost exactly 5 years ago when we were trying to decide what we wanted to do. I think it's fair to say partly we wanted to play with being on the telly, aided and abetted by Andy Sutton. There were some reviewers around, none of the ones that you'd really recognise these days, apart from Scott.
Yeah.
Certainly nobody'd heard of Todd or Rip Trippers or any of these people then. And we kind of decided that, we'd like to do some product review type stuff because we thought that would appeal to everybody. But really what we wanted to do was tell everybody how bloody brilliant vaping is. And okay, the TPD thing was, nobody even suspected that was coming back then. But we had the MHRA thing. So we always knew that we had to play the game. We were always advocating and, trying to get vendors to tone it down when they were making claims about quitting and organising campaigns and stuff about that kind of thing. But I think, Matt, you're dead right, and it's good to hear somebody who was watching that stuff back then actually recognise what we were trying to do, which was to build this sense of community. And okay, now we're just one little part of a much bigger community. But I like to think we did our bit in a little way somehow.
Yeah, I like to think we did. Even if it's just a little bit, as you say, that we were there.
Yeah, VTTV's been going for what, 5 years, you say? Give or take a month or so. Yeah, that's a long old time, considering how relatively new vaping is.
Well, it is really, yes, yeah. It is. These are in the days when Scott Bonner, who remains one of the most watched reviewers of e-cig products, would probably only get a couple of thousand views on a YouTube video. The audience that we were sort of trying to get to was this big.
Tiny audience out there.
Got more than a couple of thousand views. And then you look now, and these guys who are doing the product reviews, people like Passardo and Rip Trippers and stuff, they must be getting close to hitting millions now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just amazing how it's all changed. But it's been brilliant to be in it, to meet a lot of these guys.
That's the thing. I know my experience of it. I've sat on shows with people like Chris Choi and things like that, and I get people coming up to me in the street going, "You were on the telly last night," and it's like, "Oh, don't say that. That's weird." That's just not a life that. No, that didn't happen in my life before Vapor Trails TV. I just could get on with things, but now it's like, yeah, you were on the news, and it's like, was I? Oh, not again. I don't like it.
Well, it's worth remembering. I'm just looking some of the very kind comments and filtering out the not so kind comments. Just I thought I made that bit up. But some very supportive comments about the role we played, and it's a shame Dave isn't here, but he's out doing exactly what we've been, encouraging him to do. He's out advocating for e-cigs, this time in New Zealand, and it's something that will continue to be a feature. You know, our position on the TPD is well documented. We're not going to roll over, that's for sure. We're going to exploit every loophole, fight them on the beaches. You know, you can expect to see a lot more of the same when it comes to, you know, trying to keep people clued up, getting the opinion of the experts, the people like Clive Bates. And you know, this could be used, Matt, if you were awake, as a beautiful segue into some of the people that we've got to come and talk to us on VTTV.
Seamless. Let's do it.
Well, hello, good evening, one and all out there in vaportrails.tv land. Tonight is a very, very special show because we've actually got a real professional with us tonight. Those of you who watch the Tonight programme on ITV, their flagship current affairs and news programme, will, I hope, recognise the very handsome gentleman to my right hand side. It's Chris Choi. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm liking it so far.
You are?
Particularly that description.
Oh, well, you know, I like to butter people up. Tonight, well, I'm good. I actually am good. And I'm all over the place. I'm in the presence of one of my heroes tonight. I shall introduce from middle to out over, because tonight we've kind of got two. Well, it's one big thing really, and it's come out of what's been going on in Wales. As no doubt a lot of you are aware, that there are plans afoot, as it were, to ban e-cigs in public enclosed places. In other words, to treat them as lit tobacco. And that's something that was also considered at quite some length, I understand, at the Public Health England meeting which I attended a week ago today, in the presence of my first guest, who is Professor Robert West from University College London, isn't it, Robert?
That's correct, yeah.
And what's your post and title there?
Right. Well, I'm Professor of Health Psychology and Director of Tobacco Studies in the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health.
So, I'm sat here today with Fraser Cropper of Totally Wicked, the progenitor of the Article 20 challenge. The progenitor, that's the word I'm using today. It's a good word. And how's that going? How's the whole challenge to the Article 20 thing happening? And tonight, I've got a stellar cast tonight. It's absolutely marvellous. I'm going to put gentlemen first, makes a change, but we're outnumbered, so I think we're entitled. Over in the far right monitor, you will see John Diver of the New Nicotine Alliance. Good evening to you, John. How are you doing?
Not so bad. Not so sure I like being on the far right, but yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
I wondered if you'd pick that one up. In between John and Louise, who's right over my right shoulder, it's like an angel on my shoulder, we have the one and only Lorian Jolly. How are you doing, Lorian? You all right?
I'm good, yes, thank you.
Good. Also of the NNA and Eka.
Yes, I am.
She has more letters to her name than the post office has in a delivery van, haven't you? Something like that, anyway. And completing the lineup along the top, we have Louise Ross, who's joining us tonight. And thank you so much for joining us, Louise. How's life with you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Thanks, David, and everybody else. Been very busy since I got back from the conference, but good busy, yeah.
Oh, good. I want to hear all about that.
Said it right twice now. All the way from the USA. Thank you much for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a busy old week. Let me go to the double shot. There we go. It's been a busy old week with all sorts of things happening over here and over in the States. So,
and I'm joined by Professor Linda Bold, who is Professor of Health Policy and Director of the Institute for Social Marketing at the University of Stirling. Hi Linda, thank you for joining me. Tonight I am going to be joined by the man. He is the man, the guru when it comes to what we tend to talk about on VT Talk on a Wednesday night, and that man is in the big monitor. It is Clive Bates. Welcome along to the show again, Clive. He said,
hello,
as his software crashed, How have you been? How are you doing? And how's Europe treating you at the minute?
I'm very well. Europe is driving me mad, to be honest. I don't think harm reduction, vaping, snus is actually that difficult a policy issue, but there seems to be some people in Brussels who want to make it as difficult as possible and do the wrong things.
And it is, as ever was, Thursday night yet again, the new night for VT Talk. And tonight I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled. We have with us, via Skype, all the way from Brussels, one of the best brains on the planet. A researcher who I think has very few equals. And the equals he has all agree with him. That's a good thing. And that is Dr. Konstantinos Farsalinos. Good evening to you, good doctor. How are you, sir?
Hello, Dave. Hello to all of your team and your chat there. I'm very happy, and I want to thank you for inviting me on this show, on your show. I hope we will contribute. I will contribute my best to inform the vapers in the best way I can.
But in the big monitor, in the guest monitor, in the comfortable suite, in the presidential suite, we have one of, well, you're the godfather of harm reduction, aren't you? It's Professor Jerry Stimpson, who many of you will recognise, who is, as I've said, the godfather of harm reduction. He's the man who has strange ideas like taking a whole load of vapors across to Brussels to protest. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm fine, David, and hello everybody. And I'm looking forward to boarding the vapor train to Brussels on the 10th.
Yeah, as long as they can reduce all the harm to themselves, or virtually all the harm, and reduce all the harm to other people, avoid all the antisocial aspects of smoking, what's to stop them? Why go another step further? What's the point?
So we're here in front of the Parliament. We're at the first ever international demonstration of electronic cigarette users and vapors. There are people here from all around Europe come to give their views on the nonsense that's going on inside there.
It is not a case of e-cigarettes alone, it's e-cigarettes versus tobacco cigarettes. And we should never make tobacco cigarettes easier to get than e-cigarettes. That's madness.
I just think it's great that you've taken the time to come here and to make your point, because people often don't pay attention, sadly in the UK, to what the European Parliament is doing, and they don't realise that in fact, we MEPs are here to work for you, and if you give us information, if you contact us, that's what we do. So I think it's a really positive development, because you've realised that you can engage with the Parliament and that you can get things done.
These balloons represent the lives of smokers that would be saved if the European Parliament and Envy Committee got it right today. These are lives that can be saved by e-cigs, because e-cigs save lives! Again! E-cigs save lives! Again! E-cigs save lives!
That was awesome. And there we go. So that was a little compilation of some of the events that VTTV have been involved in, and some of the guests that they had on the show as well. It's been quite a journey, isn't it, for the last 5 years?
Can I just say well done to Sav for collating both
Absolutely, absolutely you can, yes.
Day, which is like I say, I've done these montage kind of things before, and okay, the editing isn't too bad, but finding the stuff is a nightmare.
It is, and I have to say that I have had a lot of help from Keith, Very Boring, and Bob, who have been ordering about since last night, saying, "Get me that, get me this, I need that, I want that."
Well done, too.
Yeah. Done a cracking job.
Thank you very much.
Aye, considering the time frame you put this together, it's impressive work.
Yeah, if I ever suggest doing that again, tell me no.
which brings to the point now. When we come back from we're going to be taking a bit of a break, not long, but keep eyes peeled, because we will be doing ad hoc stuff here and there. We're not going away completely. But not only will you be continuing to see us, you'll still have Chief Keith on the channel, you'll still have Ridian, and all the faces you're familiar with, yeah? So no one's going anywhere. So there we go. Any final words, boys and girls?
Yeah, I want to thank people for how. I know this isn't the end, but for our advertisers and sponsors, it is. So I'll save my thanks to the VTTV team, past and present, for some more appropriate time. But I want to say thank you, and this is a heartfelt and sincere thanks, because we're now in a position where we're self-sufficient and we can put out, we think, a better quality of VTTV show than we ever have before. That's the hope. That's what we're striving for, and we can do that and be self-sufficient. And in all of the ways that people have hinted at, we could be more robust. People could go on holiday. People could be sick, and we'll still put stuff out and be a more reliable and better channel for that. But we could not have accumulated the equipment we've got, been and found the contacts and organised the campaigns and got to know the people that we know within the various advocacy organisations, had it not been for the financial and moral support of all of our advertisers and sponsors, past and present. So I want to say a huge thank you to these guys. Once we made the decision to move on this, we've moved very quickly. So in actual fact, some of them aren't even aware that we won't be carrying their ads next month. But I shall let them know as soon as I can. But just want to put on record how grateful to them that we are. Without them, we wouldn't still exist. It's that simple.
Here. Couldn't agree with that any more. They've been fantastic.
Aye, good words. Marco, any final words from yourself, sir?
Yes, I'm sure I saw a tail in the background behind Sam.
Yes, it is.
Yes, the whole thing for the past, well, for me, it's 3 years since I've been with the team. So it's been a bit of a journey for me as well, and to be part of what we do is very important, which is why we do put a lot of our time into it, and a great deal of our own money as well.
Even when you put slices of orange in your lager.
Yes, and I've got an orange mod. Yes, yeah. I mean, the events this year, I think for me, the events were exceptional. People coming to see us, and who come, they came to see us, watch the shows. I get stopped occasionally, walking down the street or in the supermarket. I even got stopped at work occasionally because people have seen the shows, which is always really nice. And I'll always chat to whoever. So that part of it's really nice, and I'm looking forward to taking it further and providing more stuff on a regular basis for our community, because it's really part of our lives.
Well said, well said. So I think all remains now, and Marco's frozen. No, he hasn't frozen. Okay, I think all remains now is to say, right, good night for tonight. We'll be back very, very soon. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. We ain't going anywhere. We just need to gather ourselves and start producing this new format.
Well, let's be clear, there's a hell of a lot of work to do.
Heck of a lot.
Yes.
Heck of a lot of work to do. So, and we all have a limited amount of free time. So do bear with us, folks. You will be notified in due course.
Yeah,
That's probably an in-joke, really.
Watch
Sorry,
this
sir.
space.
Watch this space. Righto. So, hope you enjoyed that tonight, chap. And hope things are clearer now. No more speculation.
Enjoyed it or not, I did.
Right then. Ta-ta. Let's say cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.